everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm sorry I was not able to come and visit with you on Friday, but I hope you had a great weekend. It was a crazy weekend, crazy week. Good stuff though. And I hope you can say the same. I hope you had a beautiful Earth Day and did something where you could connect to something beneficial for our planet, for Mother Earth. And, my favorite is to stand in the grass barefooted and hug a tree, touch a tree. So I hope you did something wonderful. We got to go over to the Science Center, the Orlando Science Center, and make manatee puppets for we had such a great time, and then we went over to the Earth Day at Lake Eola Park, downtown Orlando. And it was a really beautiful day. I wanted to information. Now I'm sure electricity. I think my battery is low. I can plug myself into something. Okay. I should check that before I got on there. All right, let me see. So I was reminded this weekend. I was reminded this weekend that three really, really important questions that I share with people all the time when I work with them about managing other people's energy and managing crises and things like that, because we're always, the people around us, we are very called to, especially as empaths, we get pulled into the energy of those people around us. And I was really reminded, especially sitting at the Science Center and being able to see all of the energies around, these hundreds of kids. We must have made, 200 puppets. But to see all these energies around kids, and I saw spirits of pets that had passed on. I saw spirits of grandparents that had passed on. There was sort of this conference of the angelic realm up in the ceiling, which was kind of fun to look at and see the angels watching their charges from afar amidst the dinosaur bones, looking down at dinosaur bones and then people. It's really such a strange sight, but sort of peaceful and tranquil at the same time, and really just sort of beautiful. But I was reminded when you're out and with all of these people, and how it's so easy for us to pick up energies from other people, and it's so easy to get sucked in and absorbed into the drama that goes on, and especially as empaths, because we're so drawn to helping people. And my husband is a thinker, and for all his healing abilities, he's a thinker, so it doesn't affect him quite as much. He just doesn't, he sees things, but he doesn't pick up. It doesn't get kind of stuck on him. And I always kind of likened it to, if you've ever seen that movie, The Incredibles, and I'm a mom of boys, and I must say I'm very excited about the sequel finally coming out for The Incredibles. But in the first movie, The Incredibles, Mr. Incredible is trying to cross this expanse on this narrow bridge to get to a control panel, and the security measures kick in because he's intruding, and these big black globs plop out, and they glom onto him, these big black globs, and he's stuck, and they blow up like sticky bubbles, and Allison is embroiled in these black sticky bubbles that he can no longer move. And I think sometimes, especially for me, a lot of times for empaths, it's what it feels like to go out in a big crowd, to go to these festivals, to go to events where there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of energy. It can really feel like that, where you can get these thought forms stuck on you, these black sticky bubbles, energy entities, especially like vampiric energy entities that want to suck off of your energy and feed off of you if you don't know how to protect yourself. And especially then we get the people who are the closest to us, friends and family, who may be going through something, and we of course want to help. And so the thing that I always am come back to, and I'm always reminded of, and try to remind others of, is when you have that situation where you feel like you're being pulled into a crisis of someone else's, whether it's your friend or a family member, or maybe you just saw something on the street and you're called to help. I think being a good Samaritan is always the right thing to do, but being careful about how we get involved in situations. I think for me, the 3 questions is what I teach my friends and my clients, is to always come back to the 3 questions. Is this my crisis? Do I have the power to fix this crisis? Did anybody ask me to fix the crisis? And so, especially I think as women, because we have so many women around us, and people in general, I think, are always in a couple of different places. Either they are going into a crisis, or they are coming out of a crisis, or they're waiting for the next crisis. And I think especially as women, we're such fixers and things, to be able to say, how can I jump in and, hi Linda, how can I come in and fix the situation, and I'll just let me take care of it. I'll just fix this for you because we're moms and we're strong and we're women, and we just get stuff done. And I think it's really important to remember that part of, is this my crisis? Do I have the power to fix this crisis? Did anybody ask me to fix this crisis? And I think that those things become so important, because if you can't answer yes to all 3 of those questions, then really the thing for you to do is to send them love and light, compassion, a hug, a prayer. I'm here if you need me. If there's something I can do, please let me know. And this is different from where you have someone who maybe is in a grief situation, or really in a genuine crisis of critical illness or something like that, where they literally not be in the house or help, or in a crisis, a genuine crisis. I think a lot of times we don't have the ability to articulate what our needs are, but when we are so really I'm making a differentiation between like a life and death emergency, where the person you're talking to, they may not be able to articulate whether or not you can help, if there's something you can do. Just being there is often just so incredibly helpful to wrap loving energy around that person, and to be present in that moment, because you may see a place where you can jump in, like, hey, let me do a load of laundry, let me go pick up your kids from school, don't worry. But in general, as people are going through their lives and people are having their stuff, because we all have our stuff, to ask ourselves those 3 questions. Is this my crisis? Do I have the power to fix the crisis? And did anybody ask me to fix the crisis? Because you can't answer yes to all 3 questions, then I can direct you back to the place of love, a hug, a light, maybe a Starbucks gift card, or bring over some cookies, or something, just to let them know that you care. But resist that temptation to jump in and fix, because especially as empaths, that is our inclination, and I think even more so as women, that we just want to jump in there and let me just handle this, let me just help you with this. And so I really encourage you to take that breath, take that beat. Did anybody ask me? What can I, where are we on the 3 questions? Is it my crisis? Do I have the power to fix it? Did anybody ask me to? And outside of that, to just be present and be a friend and to listen. So hopefully that helps to keep a little drama and a little energy, keep those black energy sucker ball things, sticky balls, from getting on you. And hopefully that helps you move through your day, move through your world, especially with more festivals coming as we get into spring and summer. And I know for me as an empath, sometimes it's really, really hard for me to go to these things, because I would get those black energy sticky balls all over me. And so it's really helpful to protect myself that way. So put that bubble of light around you and remember the 3 questions. In the meanwhile, happy belated Earth Day. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and did something great to honor our Mother Earth. And don't forget to stand in the grass and touch a tree. Have a great week, and I hope I'll see you this Friday.